Right. 4 December 2025. And today I'm excited to be giving you the morning update. And this is the time when we're going to Christmas, so things are slowing down a little bit. However, here in South Africa, it's bad. So it's terrible what's happening in terms of the weather. Yesterday was one of the worst days for storms and hail. So you can see the damage that was caused across South Africa, with many buildings destroyed. So the hail is so strong, and as I was driving, I had to actually leave the road and find the nearest building with a basement because of the hailstorms that are here in South Africa, Gauteng, and also in KZN. So there's a lot of hailstorms here, and the weather is very unpredictable. So today I'm going to be very quick because I'm going to be traveling. So let us look at what is happening in Zimbabwe. So there is a terrible situation that is taking place where young Zimbabweans have started fighting on behalf of Russia. So recruiters are starting to come into the region to recruit young people to fight in Russia. And yesterday we've started to see evidence of Zimbabweans fighting in Russia, traveling in jets or in flights on their way to Russia. So you can go and look online. There are many of these videos, but my brother Zenzel Ndebele has also covered this story. And if you go to his platform, you will see that there are a lot of youngsters that have started to travel to Russia. So in particular, there is a group of Zimbabweans, in fact Africans, who are fighting in Ukraine, and the Russian government has confirmed that there are 1,400 Africans from 36 countries who are fighting in Russia. So this is official confirmation from the Russian government. And they earn between 2,200 and 4,500 per month if they are just doing ordinary work. But I believe that they are getting signing bonuses. They're also being lured with promises of Russian passports for themselves and for their families. And some South African students or some African students and workers have been in Russia, who are already in Russia, have been asked to fight or have been paid to fight. Some people who are in Russia for technical work have found themselves doing military work. So there are people who are doing construction, people who are engineers, and so forth, who are already fighting for the Russians. What is the problem with this? The problem is that so many people are dying, Africans are dying, and once you are put at the front, no one knows what happens over there. So it's not as lucrative as it looks, but because of the poverty in Zimbabwe, many youngsters are being lured by such videos, and adverts have been flighted across social media, where people are being told that you get all these benefits. So I've seen an advert that is circulating currently. And imagine if a soldier or a security guard, and they're told that you'll be able to get all these benefits, and they're taking everyone. They're taking people from the age of 18 to the age of 55. So this is what is happening right now. Russia and their recruiters are recruiting here in Southern Africa. And not only that, they're also paying people to recruit. So some sort of refer a friend scam that is going on, where they say if you refer a friend, you are also going to get more money. So this is how they are recruiting. Russia has suffered heavy losses in Ukraine, where many of their soldiers have died at the front. So that is what is happening, and I'll be giving you this story as it develops. But we know that there are Zimbabweans, particularly, we saw yesterday a video of these Zimbabweans flying over to Russia and explaining what they do over there. So basically, we're saying there are many Africans fighting. Some of them don't know what they're doing. If you're fighting in Russia against Ukraine, you're basically fighting on the side of a much bigger country that has invaded a much smaller country. And that is, it's not a just war where you can say we're fighting for a cause. You're just going there to kill innocent people in Ukraine. All right, I think we've covered that. Let's quickly go through the news. Let's start with the biggest scam that has taken place yesterday. We've seen the story of a Zimbabwean man, Ashton Gurama Tunu, who has been sentenced in the UK for using an identity of a nurse to work in the UK. This is part of a bigger and wider scam. The same family is involved in this scam. If you go to Gambakwe.com, you will see that we've shown you how these people are related. So it's a scam that started long back, where Zimbabweans in the UK were using fake identities, and some of them have been sentenced since 2024. Yesterday, we've seen the sentencing of Ashton Gurama Tunu, who was sentenced, and he is part of a bigger family, sisters and also brothers involved in this scam. So in 2014, that is when it started, when Ashton Gurama Tunu used the identity of his sister, Christmas Musarurwa, and then the whole thing continued until 2019 when he fled to Zambia. And then he went back to the UK thinking that this thing is over, but it was not over. And he has been arrested and sentenced. So you can go and check it out on Gambakwe. We've given a full detail of what has happened regarding this case. And also in the UK, this nursing home, Zimbabweans are mainly involved over here. So investigations taking place and Zimbabweans getting arrested for such scams. Then let's quickly go through other stories. President Ramaphosa in South Africa has been speaking about the G20. Particularly, the United States have made a comment overnight regarding South Africa. So that is Secretary Marco Rubio. He said the United States is forging ahead with a new G20. South Africa operated despite division and radical agendas that failed to produce economic growth. America's G20 will propel us forward with innovation, entrepreneurship, and perseverance that makes America great and provides a roadmap of prosperity to the world. We are ready to lead the way in Miami. So I'm happy with the way that the Americans are dealing with G20. The G20 is not a club for talking about politics and for human rights and all that. It's an economic body. And the South Africans were totally wrong with their approach. So the South Africans have been speaking. Yesterday, they said they're not going to call for a boycott of the G20. So that's one of the leading stories today. The South Africans were expected to call for a boycott of G20, but they've said they're not going to do so. They're going to allow everyone to work in G20 because under the South Africans, G20 wasted a full year. None of the Joburg resolutions can be implemented. There is nothing that came out of the South African presidency of G20 that can be implemented. It was a total waste of time. So I'm so happy that the Americans have taken over and they'll be back to doing what G20 is supposed to do, which is business. So not stuff that doesn't make sense at all. But President Ramaphosa himself are wrapping up in Mozambique. So he has wrapped up, he's given up a speech. And in America today, we have the DRC and also Rwanda arriving. So we've got the presidents of various countries arriving in the United States. So today we'll be seeing President Trump signing a deal, a peace deal with African countries. So these are progressive African countries doing something better, not wasting time on the things that don't make sense for Africans. So the South Africans are focused on things to do with Palestine and all that. It's got nothing to do with them. I don't even know why they waste so much time on it. And you can see that other countries are developing and doing bigger things. So DRC and Rwanda will be signing a deal today. the presidents have arrived. And I think I saw President Ruto also arriving in the United States today. So today is a big, big day in terms of Africa and the United States. We're going to see probably a press conference taking place if it has not already done so. But we're going to see that signing of a peace agreement between Rwanda and the DRC. This is big. So this is one of the biggest things that we've ever seen. And I think, let me see a picture of President Ruto arriving here so that you can see. So we're expecting a big thing to happen today in the United States of America. Those are the things that I'm looking at. I'm not looking at things that don't make sense, like what the South Africans are doing, trying to make themselves a big power. South Africa is not a big power. It's a very small player on the global stage. So you see President Ruto arriving. President Ruto has arrived. President Tshisekedi has arrived. And there's going to be a bigger deal taking place, not these small things about trying to take over the G20 when your economy is so small. Then in Somalia, a new rebel group has arrived or has been announced. This is after a former president was denied entry into the airport. So we'll be watching this also very closely. And remember, ZANU-PF today is having their Politburo meeting. Sorry, the Central Committee meeting. Yesterday, the Politburo took place. And today is the Central Committee of ZANU-PF. What are the takeaways from yesterday? From yesterday, Mnangagwa has made it clear that he's not going to go for a third term. He has explained that new people must be allowed into ZANU-PF. So what Mnangagwa said is that the new people must be allowed into ZANU-PF. However, the party must not be a party of individuals. So I want to show you what Mnangagwa said. So he's not going for third term. Mnangagwa has rejected the idea of a third term, but striking a balance. So let me show you what Mnangagwa said here yesterday. So you can see this video on Kumusha 263. So let's see what Mnangagwa was saying.
We should continue to accommodate new members in our party. Yes. In carrying out these grassroots feedback engagement programs, let us always unite the party and consolidate our revolutionary ideals. Let us never put ourselves or individual members above the party.
Okay, so you can go and check that out. It's clear what Mnangagwa is saying. This thing of Mnangagwa, if he's not there, nothing will work. Development can only happen under Mnangagwa and so forth. That doesn't work. And Mnangagwa has made it clear to the party chairman that is not going to go to third term. This week, this particular set of meetings is the last meetings of the year. There is nothing else that is coming in ZANU-PF. So the 21st of December is a critical day. That is the last day by which Mnangagwa can start the process of a third term of 2030. So this is not going to happen. Mnangagwa is not going to go for a third term, or is not going to go to 2030. And the people that have been pushed have been told yesterday that he should not put an individual above the party. Mnangagwa has also repeated that ZANU-PF is a constitutional party. So we expect to see an announcement this week or an indication that the party must start preparing for internal elections, which will result in a new leader. So that is what I expect, and that is what I took from what Mnangagwa was saying yesterday. Then there was also promotion of Air Force officers that has taken place yesterday. You can go and check that on all the state press. So the Air Force has promoted a bunch of officers. And then in Botswana, the jet of the president has developed technical faults and has been taken for repairs. So that is what has happened. And then on Gambakwe, we are covering the story of a new document that has been written to the military. So if you go to Gambakwe, you see that there's a document, a 10-page document that has been written to the military, warning them against what is being planned, which is a group, ZANU-PF, which is planning to usurp the constitution of Zimbabwe and push for 2030. So you can go and check out, we've provided a summary and the detailed document on Gambakwe.com. So go and check it out over there. There is obviously intelligence reports that are moving around. We don't know in this age of AI if some things are correct or they're just fake. But that document has been made available, which sets out and directly appeals to the military of Zimbabwe and to security structures to say what is being planned is not constitutional and they must be vigilant. So you can go and check it out on Gambakwe.com. That is the security and risk assessment report, which was written by an unnamed group of people. So we've put it on Gambakwe.com. Right, I think we've covered most of the stuff that I wanted to cover. Let's now go to the newspapers. And I'm going to start with the Trump account. So you can go and check out the announcement yesterday of the Trump account. This is amazing. So go and check it out. The Trump account is going to give $1,000 to every young or child, American child, at birth. So go and check it out. It's very interesting to see what has been taking place. We are also tracking 3i Atlas, the most trending topic ever. Are aliens going to land on the 19th of December? So that is the next day or next milestone on the comet that is being tracked, which is behaving in a strange manner. And myself, I think the severe weather we're seeing is somehow linked to this, because there's never been such severe weather as we're seeing in South Africa right now. So let's quickly look at the newspapers. We're going to start with the H Metro newspaper and the sad case of Harare. So what has happened in Harare is that 3 employees have died again. So last week or last month, 2 employees died at the Morton Jeffrey Waterworks or at the fire sewage treatment works. That is in August after inhaling toxic gases. Yesterday, 3 employees have died at the Harare City Council or Harare City, and an investigation has been launched. So you can go and check it out in the H Metro newspaper. There is something going on here in Harare, why employees are dying at work, and 5 employees is too much at this rate. So I do not know what is causing this, but if you're working at the Harare City Council, you must understand that this is terrible. It's unheard of for such a huge number of people to die at work. So in South Africa, what they do, if you are running a company, as part of safety, companies would not give you a bonus. Let's say the executives of that company, if so many people died, they will not get their bonus, because that is a big problem to have a company where so many people die at work. So terrible stuff taking place in Harare. And then let's look at other stories here. Makedenge, Makomborero or Komborero Makedenge, that young lady who's got a story, she's continuing to trend. So I think you can go online and check. There's a lot of fake stories and real stories, but she's been trending the whole day yesterday. So go and check out. It seems like a video has been released of the whole situation over there. So go check out. Massive number of newspapers talking about it. And then let's look at the Herald newspaper. So the Herald newspaper is the biggest newspaper in Zimbabwe by circulation. And on Thursday, they've got the biggest newspaper. So let's see what they have today. So I'm going to be looking here at the headlines. NDS2. So Mnangagwa is talking about NDS2. No one knows about NDS2. It has not been properly communicated. I am going to give you guys detail because I'm traveling. It's difficult for me to give you detail, but I'm going to be giving you details on NDS2 very soon. I've got the full document. And then the promotions that I was talking about, Air Force of Zimbabwe Commander John Jacob Njede or Mudara Njede and the Chief of Staff Bilton Tungono, they've been giving new ranks at the Air Force of Zimbabwe. And you can also see Mangaliso Njovu with the Zimbabwe National Defense University Vice Chancellor Air Marshal Michael Moyo on arrival at the varsity yesterday. So I've been talking to a lot of guys in the military, And what I can tell you is that if Zimbabwe does not catch up with AI, especially in the military, they'll be left behind so far. Warfare is changing from a technology point of view and also from a robotics point of view. So I do not know how they're going to change their syllabus. But first, they need to move to a more technical approach. So you need the Zimbabwean military to know more about technology and not just talking about fighting, because fighting is going to be different. In the next 10 years, it is expected that most wars will be fought by robots. And that is machine learning. You want to know about machine learning, you want to know about the platforms where technology is running. So when you see AI, it's running on a physical hardware. The people that own that hardware, they own everything. The people that own the software, they own everything. So if you are, let's say everything is not AI, if someone turns off your AI, you are finished, or they refuse you access to AI, you are finished. So we're getting to a place where power is concentrated within a few companies. So there are a few companies will be ruling everything. And if you don't understand how those technologies work, you are going to be totally lost. So everything is changing, education is changing, life is changing, employment is changing, military is going to change, security is going to change. And if you don't know, and the syllabus continues to be that old syllabus, then it will not be useful. That is not a good use of the military. So you need a better use of our military, not to kumanyisa vanhu netsvimbo. So the Zimbabwean military and the Zimbabwean intelligence currently, they are waste a lot of time vachimhanyisa vanhu netsvimbo, searching people, looking for activists. That is no longer the focus that we need to have right now. Focusing internally, they need to focus externally and use their budget much better. So I hope that these guys are understanding it. I saw that the new CTF Matatu spoke about it, and also the guys in intelligence have been talking about asymmetrical warfare. So you must understand that in future, Zimbabwe can be on its own or as an island. They need to understand what or where the trends are going. Then Chiwenga has met with Iranian ambassador to Zimbabwe, Dr. Amir Hossein at his Mutapa offices yesterday. Chiwenga looking good in a suit. I like it. Chiwenga is amazing. He's an imposing figure in Zimbabwe's politics, and is going to play a very big role within the next few years. So let's give some hands on clap hands for Chiwenga over here. Doing so well. Chiwenga arikupisa zvinotyisa. Okay, I think let's go to other newspapers. I think I've covered most of the newspapers here. What is in business? What is in business? One woman many lives saved as Zimbabwe's HIV response sticks. So I've talked a lot about HIV, Standard Bank over here, and then let's see what else is here. World Bank urges deeper reforms to anchor Zimbabwe's 5% growth. Mutapa, I showed you, is looking for an analyst. I hope you guys have applied. Go to the Herald, you'll see that job over here. And then if you want to understand about tax, go to the tax corner, non-FDS calculation method. If you want to understand, it's very important for you to understand Zimra. Zimra is one of the most, okay, when I work at Zimra in the past, there are a bunch of people standing outside. I hope that is over, where people are touting in front of Zimra. I hope that their systems are now working. Okay, I think we've covered that newspaper. Let's go to the H Metro. I didn't look at the H Metro today. We've got the story of Mike Chumombe and his brother here. We've been in jail for a long time. Their sentencing is going to happen on Monday. And then, as I said, seat of Harare over here. So I looked at H Metro. Then let's look at Chronicle Zimbabwe. So Chronicle Zimbabwe, the Bulawayo newspaper, normally goes on the ground. And let's see what they're covering today. President calls for unity and vigilance. Mnangagwa at the front. And then NDS2 anchored on ZANU-PF's conference resolution. And then UBH, critical mental health support boost. So let's see what they're saying about UBH. So the United Bulawayo Hospital is a bunch of hospitals built by the colonial government. So Sarathio Chipa, head of health at Higher Life Foundation, with Nyaradzo Mutandwa handing over the donated maternity equipment to Fiona Nari, and that is Higher Life Foundation. I think this is connected to Masiwa. I'm not sure, but I think it is. And then let's go to other things quickly here. Bulawayo Children's Choir turns 1. So who is this? Bulawayo Children's Choir with director Trevor Mawaka, as well as Asaf and Meet Luminous. So that is a children's choir. And then in Econet, cautionary announcement: in the discharge of its duty to enhance and preserve shareholder value, the board has observed that the company's share price on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange is grossly undervalued in relation to the intrinsic value of the company's operations and infrastructure assets. This undervaluation has restricted the company's ability to raise competitively priced funding required to sustain further investment in critical network infrastructure and future technological upgrades. So this is terrible. The outcome of the evaluation process may have material effect on the price of the company's securities. Accordingly, shareholders and the investing public are advised to exercise caution when dealing in the company's securities until further announcement is made. So that is the liquidity crunch on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange has got no money, and that was why you see shares are underpriced or undervalued. I think the guys who know about business, they'll unpack this. But basically, what it means is that if you put your money into Zimbabwe, it cannot grow because the whole economy does not have enough money for growth. That is what is called a liquidity crunch. So I wish I could talk to Mnangagwa and explain to him. Growth cannot happen in a high interest environment, in a low liquidity environment. So how do you get growth? You get growth through low interest rates, allow people to borrow, allow money to circulate. At the moment, money is not circulating in Zimbabwe. People are struggling. I am getting calls from Zimbabwe on a daily basis. People can barely pay rent in Zimbabwe right now. So it looks like the economy is functional, but it's not functional. People are sending money as remittances to Zimbabwe. That is how the economy is surviving. There is no production taking place in the country. There is a need for a structural change. And what I'm just seeing with Econet here is just a symptom. There is a big problem in Zimbabwe, 10 billion. That's the only money right now. So if you understand GDP, you understand that government, the expenditure of government is a big thing. So right now in Zimbabwe, the money is not circulating. We only have 10 billion circulating. And that is why you see that we've got a problem, because Econet's revenue is about $500 million. So Econet alone accounts for almost 1/20th of the economy of Zimbabwe. That is the revenue that they have. I'm not saying that revenue of Econet is the GDP. I'm just saying to you, in total, the economy is not functional. Companies like are closing. Multiple companies are closing. They're not able to function. If you try to do anything in Zimbabwe, there's no capital. There are no new companies coming up. And the construction that you're seeing, which makes PPC Cement have a revenue of 2 billion, is totally coming from outside. And PPC is an external company. So 2 billion out of 10 billion is money that is circulating from PPC. You can see that it doesn't match. So we have a serious problem here. The economy is not functioning, and it needs to function. So I don't know who is saying the economy is functioning, but it's bad when you get to a point where the share of a company is so low that they have to issue a questionnaire. Then you understand that we're in a terrible situation. And you're being told this by someone who is not even an economist. Gambakwe Zake, Arkutaura. And then National Assembly by-election printing and distribution of by-election papers from Nkulumane has started. So if you are in Nkulumane, You must be aware of this. So these are the polling stations that are going to be available. Ngulumane is the biggest polling station in Bulawayo, one of the biggest. So currently, there is 22,833 people registered. This has fallen from around 40K. I don't know what happened here. But they have printed 23,500 ballot papers. And these are the polling stations. You must be aware of this if you want to win this election. Ngulumane people, choose wisely. Choose a proper MP. Unfortunately, you can't have Gambakwe. But these are the polling stations that are going to be available in Ngulumane on the 20th of December. So I apologize if I might have that date wrong, but I believe that it's on the 20th of December. That is when this election is going to be held. One of the biggest elections in Zimbabwe, in fact, because the whole of Bulawayo had 180,000 votes, of which Nelson Chamisa got 160,000 votes in 2023. I might be getting the numbers wrong there, but what I know is that there were 160,000 votes for Chamisa, out of which there were 180,000 total votes. So this is a big election. It will show us where the opposition sits. ZANU-PF is not going to win this election. They're going to lose very badly. But the quality of candidate is very poor. So we've got a very poor quality of candidate at Ngulumane. And unfortunately, that is because most of them, they just jumped on to become candidates, but they don't have a plan of what to do for the people of Ngulumane. Then let's quickly look at one newspaper before we go. So Business Day of South Africa. You see what happened yesterday in South Africa. There were big stories taking place in court with 3 people arrested at court with guns. So another group of bodyguards have been arrested with guns, illegal guns at court. So that is the bodyguards of KT Molefe were arrested yesterday at Alexandra Magistrates Court with guns that are not licensed right at court. And his case has been postponed to February 2026. So that case is going to be big. It's going to be very big because it involves massive syndicates in South Africa. So let's look at the markets. So here, Trextron to invest a record 3.4 billion in locomotive fleet. So Trextron, Africa's largest private rail operator, expects more private companies such as miners to invest in their own rail operations in the coming years. So you can go and check out the story on rail. Rail is going to be big. And I don't know why Mnangagwa stopped. Mnangagwa started war with the rail discussions with China. So I don't know why he stopped. He just stopped. And that is one of the things that these guys need to do. They need to follow through. And currently, they're not following through. When they start something, which is good, they stop. And then Cherry overtook Isuzu as South Africa's 7th most popular brand in November. And these are the most popular brands right here. So you can see that the most selling car in South Africa is a Toyota Hilux, followed by Toyota VW Polo Vivo, Suzuki Swift, Ford Ranger, Chery Tiggo, Isuzu D-Max, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Starlet, Toyota Urban Cruiser, and then you got the Chinese at number 12 with the Harvard Jolio, and then Toyota. Toyota is so much in this top 15, and then the Chinese and the Fortuner is at number 17. So you can go and check out this. I'll put it for you on Gambakwe. And then obviously we've got the new Mercedes-Benz over here. So Mercedes-Benz is loved in South Africa, but it's not doing as well as before. In fact, let's see where Mercedes-Benz is on this list. So looking at this list, there is no Mercedes-Benz in the top 30 cars bought in South Africa. That is crazy. But let's look at these other ones here. So nothing, no Mercedes-Benz on this list. So Mercedes-Benz, BMW Group only sold 1,250 cars. GMW sold 2,534. VW 6,000. I don't know where they put the Toyota. Toyota sold 18,000 cars. So the biggest cars being sold are Toyotas, followed by Suzuki. which is also Toyota, and then VW, a far 6,000. So you can see that Toyota sold 20,000 vehicles, and the next car is VW at 6,000 cars. That is crazy. So Toyota is so popular in South Africa, I cannot believe it. And my Toyota, my battered 1988 Toyota Etios, ever since I bought it, I have never gone to any repair shop for anything. I bought my second Toyota in 2017. That is a Toyota RAV4. I have never visited any garage for any repair since 2017. So I don't need to buy a second car. That is crazy. So I have a car in Cape Town and a car in Johannesburg. And my battered car, which is in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, has never been repaired anyway. That is unbelievable. I've never seen a mechanic since 1988 for my Etios and 2017 for my RAV4. That is crazy. Guys, can you believe it? That you have a car that you never fix. And it's so simple. When I open my RAV4 at the front, I can see all the parts. That this one is this one is this. Crazy stuff taking place with the this car. Okay, I think we've covered most of the newspapers. Obviously, Musi Maimane is lost very badly. He wanted the pass rate to be pushed to 50%. It will never happen. The kids will never pass. So the Parliament of South Africa has kept the pass rate at 30%. A good job. I like this. No one deserves to struggle at school. And then let's look at more cars. Let's see what else is happening with the cars. So Thursday is a car day in South Africa. People love cars here. If people could buy a new car every year, they would do it. So let's see what is this newspaper saying about cars. So there is a new upgrade here of the Audi. South Africa has significantly upgraded the S3 Sports Pack. So you can go and check it out over here. And then the Defender Dakar D7X over here. So go check out the newspapers of South Africa. Then let's go to our people on Facebook. We're going to start with Mini. Mini is our national treasure. What did she say today? So, hello Chinese students. So she teaches Chinese. Go check it out. And then we talked about rides yesterday. Let's go and see where Madam Boss has she arrived, where she was going. She was flying the day we looked. What is she saying? So, Madam Boss, ladies and gentlemen, meet Dr. Tarisai Kojo. So, what has happened here? Iconic Awards, International Standard. The boss, thank you, my friends, for taking me this far. So, I think she's winning an award. Go check it out over here. And you can go and vote for her. And then Imotayani Naimi. So go check out Madam Boss over here. And then Shido Sanyato has got a big announcement that she has made yesterday. That is Anselam Sanyato Minister has met the warriors. So go and check it out over here. She did post about the warriors meeting with the Minister of Sport, Anselam Sanyato. So she's the woman with the best hair in the whole of Zimbabwe. So check it out. Then let's see what else we need to cover here. Who didn't I cover? Opo Chingono. Most of the time, Opo is on point, but Anombo Rasika. So let's go to my dear father, Rugoho, the man who made me who I am. I follow my bloodline, not fictitious stories about Middle Eastern storytellers. My successes and my failures are rooted in this man who brought me to this earth. So that is Opo Chingono. Go check it out. Over here, he's got so many stories to tell. He's also telling about the fakeness. So many people don't understand this story. It's not him. He is just one of the big players. This is a family. So the whole family was in this game. So it was brothers and sisters and a whole bunch of people. Someone has already been sentenced to 10 years in 2024 for this story. So it's not a new story. It's a wider scam. Zimbabweans in the UK are scammers. Mass scammers. They are scamming so badly. So that is what watching on over here. Let's go to X. Who did I forget? I tend to forget some people. let's go to X and see what is happening. Okay, I've forgotten my presidents. Let's go to President Hakainde Hichilema. Where is President Hakainde? I cannot forget President Hakainde Hichilema. Zambia is my second home. I'm going to get citizenship of Zambia. I like it. So today we officiated the 6th. So that was the thing that we saw yesterday. And then President Maboko is talking about his jet. So you know that the jet of Botswana is developed forwards after the recent travels. And they've put it away because it can crash anytime. So that is why they've put it away. Then X.com, we go to X. One of the most powerful platforms is X. So let's look at Nelson Chamisa, Ombe Wangu. So Nelson Chamisa, where do Chamisa Nelson, Chamisa Wechidik. God is in it. So he's posting an old picture of himself. God is in it. This boy is popular. The most popular person in Zimbabwe. If Nelson Chamisa gets out of his office, it's chaos. He's so popular. Let's see what he does with that popularity. Mfana, Wechidiki Diki. Twitter saying Munu, Wekuma Shingo. And then let's go to First Lady of Zimbabwe, Wama Moyo. Is Auxilia from Masvingo? Like Wama Moyo, Isusu tree anachirandu. What are you, Wama Moyo? Moyo chirandu, arkudyiwa neshumba. Moyo urudyiwa neshumba. Pakaipa. So she has reposted. And then let's go to who else did I not cover today? I need to look at more people. Owa Opa Mchinguri. Owa Opa Wedu. Wakapinda ne mota inoshamisa. Did you see Opa Mchinguri's car yesterday? Guys, this lady has got a beautiful car. Let me show you Opa Mchinguri's car. I have never seen such a beautiful car. Let's look at the car that she was using yesterday. So, Chiwenga doesn't care about cars. You can clearly see Chiwenga's car is a soldier's car. But look at Opa Mchinguri's car. Guys, this lady is driving a shockingly beautiful Range Rover Sport. Even Pokelo doesn't have a car as nice as this. She's Arko Blinger. Wa Opa, Warko Blinger. One motor nochkisa. She's got a beautiful car. And Chiwenga, let's look at Chiwenga's car. Chiwenga was driving a rugged 4x4 vehicle. So he doesn't even care about cars. I saw Chiwenga was driving a Hilux. He's more of a Toyota guy. Let me see if I can find a picture of Chiwenga arriving. So Chiwenga doesn't care about car. Mnangagwa loves cars. Mnangagwa is driving a Mercedes Benz. So look at Chiwenga. This is Chiwenga and his team arriving here. And look at Opa Mchinguri. So Opa Mchinguri is the one with the best car of all the people that arrived yesterday. She's got the Range Rover and Chiwenga at the Toyota. So amazing stuff. These guys love cars. I don't know where they're getting the money to buy. But Mnangagwa arriving with an S-Class. I think one of the top of the range S-Class yesterday. Mnangagwa doing like, he was amazing. When he arrived, everyone stopped and started to look at the car. That's all they could do when he arrived. So I'll show you the cars at another time. Then we obviously had a serious murder yesterday in Midrand. So that was 2 days ago. People were shocked to find this murder which took place. That is a shootout. Well, not a shootout. So these people were ambushed. That is Alexander taxi bosses were driving and they were killed in a hail of bullets. And I saw a lot of Zimbabwean guys standing around watching over here. It was bad because Zimbabweans guys would do painting and stuff. They stand around there and they were just watching when this shooting took place. It took place in public. So this was 2 days ago. And a shooting took place when the bosses were driving. They were just ambushed and killed. This brings to 3 the taxi bosses that have been killed this week. Taxi wars are crazy. They're taking place on a daily basis in South Africa. So terrible, terrible stuff. And then what did Opamichukwu say herself? I got carried away. So she hasn't posted, she last posted on November 27. Okay, I think I've given you all the news that you need for one day. What have we forgotten? There is nothing else that I think we've forgotten. You can go to Gambakwe and we'll be giving you guys news as it happens. So we've got an amazing special. So this is the most popular special. If you are in South Africa, you buy one packet of there, you get one packet of 2 kg sorghum meal. So don't eat white maize. Eat this stuff. It's very strong. It's healthy. It prevents all sorts of stomach cancer. When it goes in your stomach, it sucks out the toxins. That is why you mustn't eat white purple, because it doesn't have fiber. This is 100% fiber. So WhatsApp me and buy your packet of mve. So if you buy one packet of mve, you are going to get one packet of this. So that is amazing stuff. WhatsApp me and get your packet today. That is a special free shipping. So that is free shipping from there. A lot of guys have been calling me and explaining to me that they are experiencing issues. Nema salad. So this has happened mostly after guys came out of the lockdown and Zimbabwe. So what you need to do, eat well, exercise, and I've been giving guys the exercise that you need to do so that you're on top of your game. Atidi mun ari week in Zimbabwe. I don't encourage mun ari week. So these are the things that you need to do. Eat well, eat mve. Make sure that you also eat food that is in line with your tradition. So if you touch yourself, if you touch your hand like this, it must be, you must feel the grip. You go to a Simba. If you touch yourself and you feel your hand is weak, then apana chobuda. Apana chobuda. You must be strong. And the verb builds your muscles. It makes you bigger all around. And unoita zonakidza, not zvokuboa. Watching Gambakwe, yes, Mukoma teach timbers, Shivaka nenyama. So look for Jetro. He's over there in Gokwe. Gambakwe just lie when it's not even necessary to do so. How can can that be possible not to visit a mechanic for such a long period? Okay, guys, I've got 2 Toyotas. So I'm not lying to you. Remember, I don't move around a lot. Like I work at home. In a day, I drive most times less than 1 kilometer. So maybe I'm a special case. But my RAV4, I've had it since 2017. I bought it second hand with 200,000 kilometers on the clock. Right now it's got 350,000 kilometers. I have never repaired it. Nothing. Then my battered 1988 Toyota Etios, I've had it in Cape Town. It has never been repaired. It's totally unrepaired. It's funny. Buy those cars, they are interesting. But don't buy my small engine. If you want to suffer, buy a small engine Toyota, like a Yaris. If you buy a small engine Toyota, because it's so fuel efficient, you keep driving around a lot, and the engine is going to collapse at 130,000 kilometers. So when you buy a Toyota, buy a Toyota with a computer or a Toyota with a big engine, like a 1.4. My Etios is a 1.4 liter. Somewhere there, I don't know, maybe 1.6. But don't buy the 1 liter or the 900 milliliter, whatever. Buy the bigger engine. You will see that your car will never have a problem. And that is crazy. And Bishop Nyamakanga, what is Bishop Nyamakanga? Let's see. Nyamakanga. Kevin Gondo Zoro. Let's look at Kevin Gondo. Akuchija channel zita every day. Bishop Nyamakanga. Arikuti chi Nyamakanga. Nyamakanga akupenga. Let's look at Akuchija channel yake yakudzi Kingdom Voice Media. Videos. So let's look at the videos. Prophet Hubert Angel. vanopa vana vesangano. Breaking news, Jack Ngarende becomes a pastor. President, I want to show you guys something funny. People, if they don't talk about Gambakwe, they get no views. So I want to show you channel ya Manyamakanga. So let's edit it on stage. Right, 412 views, 900 views, 300 views, 300 views. Breaking Council MP, Wawach Range, and then Gambakwe. Let's see what he's talking about Gambakwe. Nyamakanga man. Let's see, Gambakwe, 6,000 views. Nyamakanga, unofane jara, agarega utara nye Gambakwe. Similar, it's way to a fan out. Tukarega utara Gambakwe. Tofane jara. Jara is right. I think I've covered everything. Kutambangu Kevin Gonde, pastor. Do you know Kuti Nyamakanga was literally unknown? So he was going around to Nimatopo and all that. Then we picked him up and we published him. So Gambakwe, what we do, we publish every channel. And most of the channel, so we give them access to a wider audience. And then when they get a bit of audience, they say, Ana General Story, Mamsgawazi, Ana General Wende, Mamsgawazi. When they get a bit of attention, then jiki. Bakuda kuzvita vanopisa. Tuma channel twese twamunoziva. Hapana ka channel kasina kudarika pana Gambakwe. Azviti. That is because we are blessed. God has blessed us. And that is amazing. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. What else? Gambakwe, what happened to this? And ndichataurinya iyoyo. Sean face wangu. Toda kutora hami. Imagine mnanga wakarizena. Twesa Sean weta CTF. Then ndichizwa na Mbarak. Then ndichizwa na Mbarak. Tichitamba nepfuti. Tichiriza Chingoridza for no reason. Man, pachanesa pa Zimbabwe. If you hear anything about Russia, teaser, you will be taken to the battlefront. Yes. Don't go to Russia. 4,500 is not enough for you to die. So Russia wants to sacrifice Zimbabweans, so fight for them while saving their own citizens. No, there's no one left in Russia. They have lost so many people. I believe that the numbers go to millions. So it's terrible. What kind of Russia? My baby, all right, I think we've covered everything. We are on 53 minutes. I'm talking longer than Makandiwa. So guys, I have to travel. I've got a long trip today. So what I'm doing these days, I'm going to Zimbabwe to my office once in a while. Then I come out. Apana nondoona when I'm in Zimbabwe. Ndiri njuzu. Wana inini. Wana njuzu. Unofa. Will you please give me the link to Russia? No, I won't give you. All right. What do you mean SA was wasting time on Palestine? Yes. What is happening in Palestine has got nothing to do with South Africans. You can't waste all your time. You go to G20. G20 is a group of 20 wealthiest nations. Instead of talking about business, you talk about Palestine. What is that? So, the South Africans are totally lost. They're trying to have this activism. They're trying to turn the G20 into BRICS. It will never work. Do you think the Americans will allow it for G20 to be turned into a place where you talk politics instead of talking business? Look at the priorities of the Americans right now that they've taken G20. That is what G20 is about. Entrepreneurship, growth, making money. We want to make money. We don't want to talk about Palestine. What do I know about Palestine myself? Nothing. So why are you spending all your time on something you know nothing about? Including the point of putting a resolution of G20 with the name Palestine on it. That is crazy. Can't believe it. So that is a misdirected group of people. And the guys at DECO, I went there to get an accreditation to cover G20. And they refused. Can you imagine that I'm going to get accreditation to cover G20 in America when I can't get an accreditation in South Africa because you don't have the right electoral policy. That is crazy. Wakupenga. Wakupenga. Wadani, wananzani mbana huyu, Lamola. All right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. I'll see you guys again later. Today, I won't be able to feature because I'm traveling. You follow Gambakwe, you end up behind bars like Nyoka. Yes. You follow Gambakwe. Don't follow me. Follow Jesus. Follow Jesus. All right. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And a good day. What happened to my clip? A good day to you all.